is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our Pinterest picks in my series, the Pinterest picks. And what I thought we could do today, and I've got a picture here on my iPad of this gorgeous image. Now this has been described as a shabby in blue fabric collage. And when I looked very closely, at first glance, I thought this was a photograph on here, but it's actually printed onto fabric, this image. But what I thought that I would do is, because I'm not trying to literally, you know, emulate what the people have done, I'm just trying to do my take on, or, you know, what I have found inspiration from. So this is going to be my kind of twist on this. So obviously she's got several different layers of fabric. So she seems to have the back layer, the, you know, the dark blue layer, then another blue layer, I think it looks like, and then the picture itself. So, you know, again, I'm going to kind of just do my own take on that. So I've pulled out a few things that I thought that I could use that are going to work quite nicely for this project. So I've got this gorgeous fabric here, which this was a Happy Mail, you know, item that I've had for a while. So I'm just going to turn it over. Sorry, it's upside down. So that's that. And then I've got this, which is a fabric sample from, you know, an upholstery fabric sample from a shop. And then I've got this gorgeous fabric, which again, I received this in another Happy Mail, and I really, really like it. And yeah, I'm kind of toying between whether to use it or not. But I thought that this would go quite brilliantly because, you know, she seems to have printed out like a texty background with her photograph. And I just thought, well, actually, this has got, you know, a feel of a texty background to it. So yeah, and I am trying to make it my mission this year to, you know, use my Happy Mail items and not hoard them. So I'm just going to just snip into that and hope that this tears nicely, and hope I don't tear the fabric and ruin it, because I do really, really like it. Okay, so that's good. Now it has got a little snipped bit. That was how it came to me, but again, I'm not too worried about that. So it's, you know, it's all fine. I could even just trim this edge down slightly, actually, because as you can see, it's quite wide on that piece. So I'm just going to go in and I'll have to trim this down here. And then what I'll do is I'm going to just kind of fold it over a bit, and then I'm just going to kind of try and, you know, rough the edges up, because obviously I haven't now torn that edge. So okay, so hopefully I've got a bit more of a rough edge going on now. Well, not quite as rough as the other side, which is a shame, but, you know, never mind. I didn't want to kind of risk tearing it further. So that's, you know, that's fine. And actually, when you look, she's got a lot more of this blue fabric hanging down kind of a lot longer than the image. So the fact that this is actually a bit shorter than the blue is absolutely fine as well. So that's how that's going to be. And then I've grabbed one of my Tim Holtz paper dolls, which I just thought, well, actually, she's going to be brilliant on there. So that's kind of my basis for my piece. And then I've just grabbed some lace and things that I'm going to kind of layer up as she has. She's also put a couple of safety pins and some buttons, and then this gorgeous flower. So let's get going and, you know, see what we can do with this. So I think, first of all, I'm going to just try and cut or tear this fabric. Now, I can't remember. I've used this fabric a few times, but I can't remember whether it tears or not. So, oops. Okay, just trying to tear it. I mean, some fabrics tear really nicely, don't they? And others are a bit more temperamental, but this one doesn't seem too bad. So, right, it's a shame because this edge is not really torn, as you can see. So again, I might just try and rough that edge up, because I don't think I'm going to be able to tear that edge off very well. So again, just go in and try and make it a little bit more rough and ready. Okay, and then just put this back on here and gauge kind of roughly where I want to kind of do it at the bottom. So probably around about here. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness, this is so tough to tear this. It's oh, you need to be like a world's strongest woman or something. It's, yeah, very, very tough to tear. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I'm doing this off screen, but honestly, it was so tough to actually tear it. I don't think I could have done it on screen, even if I'd tried. Right, okay, trying to decide now which is the back and which is the front of the fabric. Right, that one. Okay, that was a workout and a half, I must say. So then this is going to go obviously on top of there. And I mean, I'm thinking this would just make a really gorgeous cover or something for a journal. So I'm just going to glue this down onto here. Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I just thought, oh, that would just be lovely on a cover. So let's just go in there. Now I don't have to be too thorough with the glue because I'm going to obviously stitch around this, but I'm just trying to hold it in place so that I just get like a base going basically. Okay, so like that. Oops, I don't think I've got that on there very straight. Okay, right, so that's that piece. And then I'm just going to take this piece now here and just then glue this one down onto there. So, and once it's glued down, of course, I don't then need to worry at all about the, you know, that torn, you know, snipped edge. So again, we'll just put a little bit of glue on. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think this is going to just be so pretty, you know, just really, really make a lovely journal cover. And I'm then thinking actually, because I really do love the look of this piece, but I'm thinking, you know, maybe we could do a few of these, almost like a mass make of these types of pieces that we could then have ready in our stash to put on covers. Because they're really lovely, aren't they? You know, and I just thought, oh, how handy, you know, would they be to just have a bunch that you could just grab and place down onto a cover. I think they'd work out really, really well. So my girl here, let's just check whether she's got some other snippet bits. Oh yeah. You can't always see where these little space things are, you know, where you've got a gap and you've got to punch out the bits of card. Okay. Yeah, okay, so she's going to look really nice on there, and I'm just going to stitch around this. Now, she's stitched around here on the very edge. I will do that, although I'm not attaching it to anything, so it's just literally like stitching just for a decorative, you know, the decorative purposes. So I'm just going to take that across to my sewing machine, and hopefully I'm going to use some black thread like she has. Okay, so I'm back. So as you can see, I stitched around twice on the outside edge just to give it a little bit more kind of impact really and make it show up a little bit more, and then I just stitched around once on the other layers. So I'm just going to trim off some of these threads because my goodness, it's pretty thready, so we'll just trim that down just there and here. Okie dokie. Okay, so that looks good, doesn't it? And then I'm just going to ink it up so that it's looking more vintage. So I've just got my vintage photo and my blendy, you know, tool. I'm just going to go around the entire thing, just inking it up a bit. I mean, obviously on that back layer, it's not particularly, you know, particularly showing because it's sort of darker, but it's definitely showing, you know, brilliantly on this texty layer and on the blue. So it's, you know, it's definitely worth doing. And then I'll just go around the edge, even if it's not particularly, you know, looking like it's having much effect. Okay. So love how that looks so far. It looks really, really pretty, doesn't it? And then I've got my little girl. She's so pretty, and I'm just going to then ink her up as well. She's a bit glossy because these Tim Holtz dolls, they are a bit glossy. I'm almost wondering whether I could kind of tea bag her, you know, decoupage her with the tea bag. So let me just Just see if I've got some more tea bags. I've used quite a few here we go. There's one right here. Right here, where I've used it recently. I don't want to kind of make it so that you can't really see her, but I'm wondering whether the tea bag would benefit her because she would just be a little bit more vintage and a bit less glossy. The only thing, I'm a little bit concerned that her face is going to be lost in that tea bag. And she's really nice, so I'm kind of nervous to do it because I don't want to spoil her. Oh, let's just go for it. Right, got my Mod Podge here. So we'll just go over her with the Mod Podge and then put some tea bag on her. Just because I just feel she is like a little bit too glossy, which, you know, I don't really feel like she's quite right being glossy like that. So let's go over her with that tea bag. Okay. Let me see whether if I put more Mod Podge over the top. Oh, I mean, her arm's disappeared altogether. You actually can't see her arm now at all. That's annoying. Well, I guess you can still see her, can't you? She's not kind of lost in there. Right, let's just carry on. So I'm just going to then put some more tea bag. Whoa. Put some more tea bag on her here. Oops. Okay, right. Just that arm, which is proving quite resistant to the tea bag. I mean, I guess, to be honest, it won't matter if the tea bag tears slightly, because that would maybe even make it look much more vintage. Perhaps I should try and tear it a little bit. Right, there we go. Just go for it a bit more on here. Right, okay. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to just leave her to dry for a couple of minutes. I might have to dry her off with my heat tool. Oh, I hope she dries okay. Otherwise I'm going to have to find another paper doll and I'll be really gutted that I've obviously spoilt her because she's really pretty. Perhaps I'll quickly dry her off. Hold on. Okay, so I've dried her off and actually she's dried up really well and you can see her through that tea bag really, really well. So really pleased that I did that because it's just taken that sort of shine off of her, which, you know, I just didn't really feel looked very vintage. So I'm just going to just tear around that tea bag, and you know, the tea bag obviously is just, you know, just tea bag. So it's super flimsy and just tears off really, really easily. You know, you don't need to kind of get in cutting it or anything. It's obviously glued to her, so it will just naturally tear, you know, where it's not attached to her, if you see what I mean. So just tearing that down like that. Okay, so she looks really good, doesn't she? And just go round where I've just missed one or two bits. Oops, I can't really tell whether that's tea bag or whether that's her, but just looked a bit weird, so I'll just cut that off. So anywhere where it obviously doesn't just tear really easily, after I was just saying how easily it tore, you can just obviously go in with your scissors and just, you know, get those excess bits like that. Okay. Yep, love her now. Much, much better. She was very shiny and yeah, it was just kind of distracting me a little bit. Okay, so that's her now and she can be obviously placed on there. So what I also dug out, I've got some little safety pins because, oops, on the picture, she also had some, oops, little safety pins in here. So if you can kind of see them there. Now hers are very dark. Mine, as I say, I did rust these, but the method of the rusting, I have found that the more you handle them, the more the rust actually seems to then come off. So what I'm going to do, although I have rusted these, I'm going to go over them with just a little bit of the patina, because, the more I handle these, the more that rusty effect seems to then, disappear. So I do want to make sure that they're, nicely rusted up. So, oops. Sorry, dropping everything there. Right. Because hers are so kind of coloured, they almost look black actually. The pins that she used, from what I can see in the picture, they look, almost black. They're so well rusted. So there we go. Right. Just clean that off of my desk. Okay. Right. So that's that. And then, has she got anything else? So she also had some little metal corners, or a little metal corner. So that's going to look really nice on there. And then she's got these two buttons at the top. Now her buttons, or her fabric, is obviously a lot bigger than mine, if you can see. So I haven't really got room to put, buttons kind of either side on the blue layer. So I'm going to go, place mine possibly maybe like that or something, because if I try and get them either side, I might struggle to get them on with the metal corner. Let me just see if I can manage it. I mean, I guess I could move her over a bit actually. Perhaps I put this the other way round, because I love the texty part best. I don't know quite what all this stuff is in the background, but I'm liking the text part best. So if I switch it to do it the other way, maybe like that. Okay, well that doesn't look too bad. So let's glue her down onto the fabric. So we'll just go in with the Fabri-Tac. So hopefully quite a sort of generous layer there of the Fabri-Tac. So she's, oops, got a hole in my bottle. So she's definitely stuck on, really well. Okay. So we're just going to put her down like that. Okie doke. And just press her down with my dry wipe. Now for my corner, I'm just going to literally hot glue that on. I just find the hot glue works really well, and it's really quick and really easy. So I'm just going to go in with some hot glue there, and then just pop that down there in that corner. Okie dokie. Perfect. Okay. Oops, and I've glued it, look, way over. Oh, and now I've touched the patina. So, oh, sorry. It's all turning into a disaster now. I was doing okay, and now I've touched everything, and it's all now gone to pot. So right, let's move that out of the way. Yeah, so I'm still not sure. I mean, I could still just have my pieces off to the corner, to be honest. I mean, I quite like them like that. Obviously, I could have then, as it happens, glued her over in the centre, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm still waiting for my safety pins to dry, so of course I'm not going to put them on yet, but let's just go down and see what the detail is. So let's just see what the detail is going on down the bottom. And she's got, obviously, I mean, what looks like a piece of doily, and then she's got 5 buttons, and then she's got this gorgeous flower with some, fabric, I don't know, strands, I guess, coming out of it. So again, what I've done, I've just brought along some gorgeous lace, and I received this in Happy Mail. So again, I'm just trying to be really good and use, some of the lovely things that I have been sent. So I'm just going to trim this down like that. Okay. So that's going to look really pretty on there. And then again, I've got all these different buttons here. These buttons, these actually my nan gifted me. So yeah, they're actual, you know, genuine vintage buttons. And whereas sometimes when I've bought buttons, they don't have often very many of the ivory ones, which of course are the ones that, you know, we use most. But my Nan's buttons actually did contain lots of ivory ones, so I was really, really pleased. Right, so what I'm going to do is just glue this on first. Now hers is completely dead straight, and I normally, you know, I'm quite kind of fond of putting things at a curve, but I'm going to try and actually glue this on straight now, because I think it will look better with the buttons if it's actually straight. So like that. Okay, so that's that. And then for the buttons, let's just have a look. I don't, you know, I don't have to have 5, because I mean, I might find that actually 5 looks a little bit kind of too many on here. So I might prefer to just have 3, or, I mean, I know 4's an odd number, so that's maybe a bit strange, but actually 4 maybe like not too bad. Perhaps that one's a bit big. Yeah, I don't mind having it like that. Now I wonder whether I might prefer that one there and that one up there. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? Or let's just have a look. Well, I mean, it probably really is not making a great deal of difference. I'm probably really overthinking this now, but just have a look. Because you do want to get your buttons right, don't you? I quite like that bigger one there, funnily enough. I think that looks quite good. Right, so let's just move these out of the way. And then she also obviously had that flower there. So again, I've got some little fabric flowers which I've made previously. And I'm thinking I could just kind of utilise one of those actually on here. So maybe like this one. Again, I could ink it up so it looks a little bit more vintagey. So let's just ink that up. Okay. That's quite nice, isn't it? And then for the fabric pieces that are going to be hanging down, again, I've got just some little strands of fabric. Well, not fabric, but lace that I could use. So let's just have a look. And I've also got this lace. So I'm thinking if I just snip this down, I mean, I want them to be pretty thin. I don't want them being kind of really monstrous or anything on here. So, you know, they're just going to kind of hang out under that flower. So I kind of think that's quite a, you know, quite a good one to use. So again, let's just go in here, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this edge off with these flowers, because that's going to be a little bit on the thick side. So I'll just get rid of that, and we'll just cut out another strand of the kind of lacy part itself. Okay. And again, what I'm going to do is just ink these up so that they're looking a little bit more vintagey. Okay. So they're quite nice, aren't they? Right, so let's get gluing some bits down. So let's glue this button down over here. Just in that corner. Okay. Yeah, I definitely like this one here. I'm just going to put another glue stick in my hot glue. And as I opened my drawer, I then stumbled across this extra lace, which actually this might look quite good down here. So I'm just going to get rid of that header piece. I mean, the irony, this is a piece that I've obviously taken off to get rid of the header piece, and I'm now taking the header piece off even more. It must have been, yeah, massive layer of header there. Right, so yeah, I'm quite picturing that like that. Okay, right, let's put the, going to put this button here, which I do really like, so that one there. Okay. All right. Oops. I mean, I could even have that button up that way. It looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Probably better that I am this way, I think. Okay. So that one down there like that. Whoops. Just catch those glue threads, and then so I'm just wondering whether I could get a couple of buttons in there or not. I mean, her flower must have been lower than her lace, I think. So let's just see whether I could manage to have a row of 5 buttons and then the flower. Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that would work okay. So just check. Oh, I wish I'd used that one now. Oh well, right. Okay. Perhaps like that. I mean, I know they're just buttons, and you know, really, I don't know quite why I'm making such a meal of it, but you know, you just want to get things right, don't you? So, you know, it all does make a difference, I think. You don't want to go for the wrong one and kind of wish that you hadn't. So, especially if you've got, you know, a choice, it's not like you had to go for that one. So, okay, that one there, and then this one here. Whoops. Okay, right. Yep, I like how that looks. And yeah, I'm going to have my flower lower so it's actually hanging kind of from the bottom more rather than like on top of that lace. So I think that kind of looks better. I'm just going to check that I wouldn't prefer the flower somewhere else. Oh no, that's really strange. Right, okay. So we're just going to go for the flower here. So my lace pieces, just want to have them kind of dangling down. So maybe like that. And then just my flower on top. So right, fingers crossed that I'm going to manage to glue this on looking okay and not just looking really ridiculous. So, okay, oops. Okay. Yeah, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? And just now, hopefully my safety pins are dry. So shall I have them this side or shall I have them the other side? Again, I mean, it really doesn't probably matter too much. If I have them this side, I feel they need to go lower down. Or I could have them this side. Perhaps I'll have them this side. Right. So I'm just going to go in. Oops. Oh, come on. Like that. So we've got one. Okay. And then the other one. Okie dokie. I went through a phase of using safety pins quite a bit and I haven't really used them for a long time. So now I'm kind of thinking I must buy some more and use them a bit more because they really are very, very cute, aren't they? have to say mine are rubbish quality. Got them right really super cheap on eBay. Oh, I can't even get it through the fabric. So yeah, when I do buy some more, I need to buy some better ones. Okay. Yay, right. So finally got my safety pins on there. Okay, so that's my finished collage piece. So I'm just going to move everything out the way, and I'm going to pull in, you know, like a fabric cover to show you how this would look. So hold on. Okay, so this is how mine looks compared to the original. So as you can see, I mean, it's, you know, pretty different. But I've just taken the original concept and kind of just adapted it to the materials and, you know, things that I actually had, you know, rather than having to obviously completely buy kind of separate things. So it was just where I drew inspiration from, which I think worked really, really well. And I'm really, really happy with my piece. So I'm just going to show you now on... a couple of covers to show you how it would look. So these are a couple of my mass-made covers that we did recently. And I mean, of course, they would be folded in half, you know, to be a journal cover. But just to give you an idea, so there's this one here on the sort of brown. So if this were folded in half, let's just fold it in half to kind of demonstrate. Oops. Okay. So obviously made a hideous job of folding that, but never mind. It's just what happens when you're doing things quickly. And that's how that would look on there. So really, really pretty, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, that's an instant cover then. We've got the already made cover that we did in the mass make, and then we've got the already made, you know, centerpiece, I guess, you know, or embellished topper, which, you know, you just glue that on there and that would be good to go as a journal. So really, really pretty. And then just to give you another idea, I'm just going to show you on the collaged page. So again, this was another one that we did during the mass making, and that's how it would look on the collage cover. So again, absolutely gorgeous. You know, I'm not sure which one I prefer it on, whether I prefer it on the brown or on the blue, but I think they're both lovely. So let me just again fold this up and show you, you know, a bit better how it would look. So I mean, I'm not sure which way round I would have this cover, to be honest. Probably like this. So that's that on that cover. I mean, isn't that just so gorgeous? I mean, this cover I would probably ink up around the edges so it sort of ties more in, you know, in a vintage way. But that just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? And then, you know, if, for instance, I had the cover that way round, that's how it would look on there. So yeah, really, really, really like them. And yeah, I'm thinking we could definitely kind of do a few of these, to be honest, because they're going to be just really awesome to have these, you know, ready to go on a cover, and super, super quick decorating covers then. If you've especially got fabric covers already made and then you have, you know, a handful of these already made, it would just make, you know, pulling your journal together really, really, really quick. So hope that you liked it, and yeah, I really hope that you've enjoyed the Pinterest series. And yeah, thank you so much. I mean, obviously this is the last one, but yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed it and it's given you some ideas and inspiration. Like I say, you really don't have to kind of emulate the exact thing you've seen on Pinterest, but it's just drawing inspiration from what you've seen and then adapting it to the pieces that you've got, the materials you've got, or, you know, your personal kind of style and taste. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you all have a great day. Thanks, guys. See you. Bye.